And now we're ready to be more raw. Now this is the last session between Frederik Saabye from Saabye Media and the one and only Stefan Avivson, a.k.a. Mr. Raw. Mr. Raw. And Frederik Saabye.
And we're live.
It's
Once again.
business.
What's up,
Second
my man?
podcast. Still Monday. It's nice to see you, Frederik.
You too? And how do you like the beard? It's looking better this week?
You have a little more this time.
Have a little more this time, yeah. Oh, goodness. Next week it will be even better.
Absolutely. We should call this the Beard Podcast.
The beard podcast, no, that's another one. It'll be beers and beards, right? So we'll discuss beards and we'll be drunk for that one.
And also a big thing that happened since last time. We thought that we invented the name for our podcast. We thought it would be raw revenue, but it turned out that it's not only revenue that we're talking about; it's simply business.
It's business,
and
yep.
So that's pretty interesting. And talking about business, I think we today are going to talk about how our each individual businesses are going in regards to the traction and how we're helping our clients and what we're doing with the markets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have something you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have two things I want to talk about. So the first thing is I kind of get this, and this might turn into a rant because I get very passionate about this, and I feel that this is that it's not where the market should be going, because I feel that these digital marketing agencies, they're the new insurance brokers, right? So the insurance brokers, they're so known for selling on fear. You should get this life insurance because you might die someday. And I feel that there's so many digital marketing agencies that are selling fear, right? So you should be advertising on Google Ads, or you should be doing Facebook advertising, because otherwise you'll lose out. You can't follow the customer journey. It's getting so difficult. Everything is difficult. You have to hire us because we know how. We have this framework. We know everything that's going on. And iOS 14, iOS 15, you can't track email opens. You can't figure out anything. So if anybody clicks away from Facebook, you can't track it anymore. I mean, it's just, it gets me riled up because I feel it's so wrong to kind of, first of all, sell that way. And second of all, why are you selling that way when if you have all this knowledge, why aren't you just saying, well, we can't do this either. We can't track anything. We don't have the answer, but we know how to figure it out. I mean, that's why you're an expert, right? That's what you can do. That's what you have all this knowledge and you have all these expertise and experiences, so you'll be able to figure it out, right? And
but no, because now you're one of the decent guys in the industry. But if you look at the others, the point is in marketing, it's the new cowboys on the market. If we go 15 years back, that was when I sold my marketing agency, Standout Media. We actually went out and did something. It turned out to be really, really unique. But what we literally did was we showed our clients how much spend we had on Google Ads and all the other platforms. Because back then, all the marketing agencies, what they literally were doing, they were selling a click to their website, let's say worth $2, and then they went in and bought the same click from Google for 2 cents. And now that's not possible any longer. So I see it still being the same guys trying to create something that's not there, because they're not real specialists. They're sales specialists. They know how to close clients, and an easy way to close clients is to sell by fear. but that doesn't deliver any value at all. And that's the big difference between, especially when you're out trying to pick a marketing agency. If people are talking into your fear, get the fuck out of there, because you're not going to be a success based on fear. This is not a war. Marketing agencies make money when they create real value with their clients, so the clients can see the value alongside with the agency, so you can start developing instead of disguising, creating fear, making that being the main part of it, because there's so many agencies. We have a lot of clients in our company, and they always having a big problem with their marketing agencies, because they spend £20,000, $20,000, and the results are zero. And it's just about doing the right approach. So I understand. I understand. I'm not allowed to say it. I understand your disgust towards the competition, but of course, also a very important thing is never to talk down on your competition. I'm not saying that you are. I'm talking about the guys who are listening to this podcast. Never, ever talk down in regards to your competition, because the only thing you do is talk yourself down into the mud.
I agree. I mean, I completely agree with you. And I also think one thing you said that was interesting is they're trying to create fear. Some of your clients, they have their marketing agency, and the agency is trying to create fear, right? But they're also trying to, and that was kind of a light bulb moment for me, I think. They're also kind of masking what they're doing, right? So is this working? Maybe a client asks their agency, why is this working? They say, well, because we do good. We managed to do some good work or whatever. But I think that that was the light bulb moment for me, because it's not, right? It's what we do in corroboration, what we manage to do together. And that's kind of what separates. And I think the ones that will be winning in anything, is the ones who are open, and we share everything.
How do you expect to evolve if you're not open about your failures?
Yeah, and also capturing market share, right? With winning and becoming the biggest. If you're open about anything you do, you will attract more, because people will buy into your philosophy, and that's just not what's happening when you are selling on fear. Because when you're selling on fear, you're selling on people you're missing out, right? But when you show openness, and this is how we do, and this is how we evolve and how we innovate, you're not talking to how you might get left behind, but how you will get ahead, right? So that was a light bulb moment for me, actually.
Because also selling to clients in that way also allows you to project forward, because every time you sell on fear, then it's something already defined that your efforts will be benchmarked against. And if you're a B2B company and you already spent $20,000 on LinkedIn ads and you failed like miserably, it's not like that you can go to a professional marketing agency and then they will suddenly make magic in the first glance of creating something. So yeah. And anyway, it's not about the clicks. Anyway, it's about the quality of the traffic that we are capable of.
It's about the revenue. It's about the revenue.
It is
all day. It's about the revenue. It's about the lead to win. It's about the revenue all day.
So that's what you focus on.
Yeah, and that actually kind of leads me to my second part or my second point of today's agenda. That's I wanted to take a look at one of the clients that we're working with right now, and how if we were measuring this in traditional,
But what do
marketing
they
ways,
do? What do they do?
they're selling a help desk software to 200 plus companies. I mean 200 employee plus companies. So pretty big accounts, and pretty large contract values, and so they haven't really had success with this outbound method. They had tried it, and like their conversion rate wasn't that good because they didn't manage to, and now we get back to it, they didn't manage to tell people why they needed this product. So highlight problems and highlight gains, right? But I wanted to expand a little bit on how they if you were looking at this in traditional marketing metrics and like only marketing metrics and not business metrics, and just how any other agency probably would, I don't know. I'm not gonna shit on agents on this more, on this industry anymore. How you usually measure marketing, and if you applied that to this case, you would have a horrible case. Like, it would be the worst case. But this is actually a great case, and
What happened with your case?
Yes. So we generated, in a month, we generated 6 ebook downloads. 6.
Yes.
And that's very little.
And how much did they pay for that?
I think they paid 8 or 10,000.
Dollars or kroner?
No, Danish kroner. So it's not a lot. It's a pretty expensive cost per lead. So that doesn't look good. It's pretty expensive, right? Because I mean, with others, you would be, and that's the thing with this lead gen model, right? But so it's pretty expensive. But the thing is, 60%.
That's around $250 per lead.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's pretty expensive. So, but the thing is, 60% they have translated into sales meetings.
Really?
Right? Yeah, 60%.
So what happened? Why are these leads good?
Because we spoke to customers. We figured out. We did 5 customer interviews just before we launched this, and everything is built around this. So we figured out, when we spoke to the customers, we figured out what problems did you have before, like what issues were you experiencing, what made you think about finding a solution like this, why did you pick this supplier instead of any other, and what are the key product features that you're using the most. So we asked 5 stakeholders in their clients' existing clients, and we what we found from that was pain statements, gain statements, value propositions, and unique selling propositions, and we build our marketing around that.
What? I'm an old fool, you know, Frederik, but gain statements, pain statements.
Yeah, of course.
That sounds sexy.
It can be. I mean, if you ask the right people. Now, so the gain statement is, for starting, a pain statement could be, before we had this, we weren't able to live up to our contractual agreements. So that's a pain statement, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We have no way of securing that we're within 99% of, living up to the contract, right? Service level agreements. So that's a pain statement. And then the gain statement would be, but after we implemented this software, we now have a way to track it, and we have a way to figure out automatically and report on it. So the report would be a gain statement, right?
Okay. Cool.
Also, a key product feature, the reporting. So that's what we did, and we took a look at. Obviously, that's more the technical details, but how do we slice and cut the targeting, all that. But that's not very interesting. But that was kind of the basis of what made this a success, right? Because we really knew.
Did you go and pinpoint the actual companies that you wanted to approach, or did you just create a?
No, we spoke to the thing is, their service they sell 3 things, right? And we want to focus on one. So we found 5 customers that are currently on this plan, and we spoke to them, and we asked them these questions. And what we did obviously was we
successful, I assume, five successful.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Active clients, yeah, because
exactly.
that's the way to do it. Because when you ask these guys the raw questions that you're asking them, no, but the beauty is the pains and the gains for that matter. I learned something new today, and that's amazing. But with the pains and the gains from the existing clients that they already have success with, when you're spending your time communicating those pains and gains that your existing clients already have had success in regards to what they're selling, then when you use that value proposition going forward in your market, then you're actually seeking out what are referred to as twins of your existing clientele.
Yeah.
And when people are starting to buy in on the same premises as your existing clients, they will probably get the same experience.
Yeah, they'll have the same reasons for buying, right? They'll have the same reasons for buying. So if we use the exact phrases and words we got from the clients, the ones having similar issues will respond, because oh my goodness, they hear us, they know us, they speak exactly into this. We cannot live up. We have no way of figuring out how we can live up to our contractual agreements. They're in our heads. They're listening to our. We just spoke about it. They're listening to our microphones on our phones, right? We're listening in. No, but we just do good targeting, right?
So it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
So it literally worked.
And I mean, that definitely worked. And now I'm not even shitting you. They're high-fiving in their office right now. I got it on an email. We're high-fiving in the office. These leads are great. I'm not joking.
But you didn't do any rocket science, did you? You just listened to the market.
I definitely didn't. The hardest part about this was figuring out what to ask, right? That was the biggest issue, because when you can't just go out and do, because obviously you would like to know, how are you buying? You can go out and ask a customer that, how are you buying? And they would go, with my credit card, I guess, or I don't know, invoicing. So you have to be a little bit more, you have to be thoughtful of how you ask these questions. And you also, there's how many people are you asking? When we're asking 5, because we found out that gives us approximately 80% of these issues. So, and we're good with that, because if we get 80% here, we probably will hit 80% in the market.
Anyway, go for.
Yeah. But that's the hardest part, figuring out like what questions are we asking. So we have to start, what answers do we want? We want to figure out pain statements, gain statements, value propositions, USPs. So how should we ask? That was the most difficult part of this.
But what was the first question?
The first question?
The first, I believe, I'm joking. I believe the first question to any survey is, of course, to ask, what?
Yes, and we did.
Cool. Good job.
Thank you, man. So that was a pretty cool story to share. And I mean, I hope it's somewhat useful, because I want it to be, I mean, the questions are there. This is what we're asking.
Yeah. So the key to a successful marketing campaign is literally talking to your clients.
I feel this is, I kind of get a sense that this will be the conclusion to each episode. Just talk to your customers.
What's more important? I'm of course talking a lot about talking to clients and understanding your clients, because I just found that there are so many who doesn't do it, and you can see it with your own clients as well. They didn't do it. But just because you do it, you start gaining real traction, because you understand the foundation of what you need to do, and you even
And I can also I can really get so when I do the customer interviews, or when my clients say, well, we know this from our customers, there's a difference. I mean, and not a small one. Just wanted to say that. So there's really something there. There's really something there.
Yeah, and it's pretty logical why it is like that, because when you ask your girlfriend or your boyfriend, why do you in reality like me? You will need to lie. You cannot set out the negative parts of that. You're not going to mention them, because if you mention all the bad things about what's going on, you won't get lucky the next month. They will close for the warm water. And the same goes for a client vendor relation. It's the same. The relation always is handling a lot of the reasons for why they're working with you, for instance. It's the relation they have with you, because they can express themselves to you in the way they need, and you get the information that you need in order to give back what you're giving back, meaning results focused on revenue. But it's about the relation. So the same goes if you are actually starting now, although they're high-fiving and stuff like that. If you went back and asked these guys, what do you think of me? They would only tell you about all the good stuff. They wouldn't pinpoint out the bad stuff that might be there. But that's all. I guess that's also what you experience when you talk to your clients. You get much more wisdom out of the conversations, because it's more raw.
Yeah, we're a third party, right?
Exactly.
That's
and it's not dangerous to ask you. No. Anyway, I remember that when I was a teenager, you always had a friend or something go and ask the girls. You didn't do it yourself.
Of course.
So,
no, of course not.
And the same goes here. That's how it is the rest of your life.
So, Stefan, that was my 2 points. You had something you wanted to get off your chest. Not really, but you have something on the agenda.
Yeah, I do have something because last week we just initiated all our activities for our UK office, and I had a webinar where I was supposed to talk about all my fuck ups. So I had an hour. We could probably have spent 5 hours about my fuck ups, but in regards to being raw and having business into that conversation, fuck ups is the most important thing to embrace for any company leader, especially also when you're a marketing agency leader, because
they're so information rich.
If you don't fail, you can't evolve. And now I've been a serial entrepreneur for 26 years, and one might say that when you've been that for 26 years, you cannot make any mistakes any longer. Well, then you're wrong. You are wrong. You will always fail. You will always fuck up, and you need to embrace that fail, because if you don't embrace it, you won't move on. And I was reflecting prior to the webinar, what latest fuck ups have I actually achieved in my life? And I realized, because we're now founded in Denmark, and we all know about the Corona shit going on. All my kids had Corona last week. For some reason, I'm not able to get infected. Maybe I had it before. Or maybe I'm just one of the super guys. I'm hoping for
probably super. Yeah, probably super guy.
Obviously,
most likely, yes. Yeah.
But I was reflecting and thinking about our success that we've had, and I would say lack of, because we had a pretty big downfall in November, December in revenues, and what I tried to create was a product that is adaptable to the entire world. And then I set myself, this is 1.5 years ago, I set myself the goal to, okay, now I'm going to prove that my business model and our revenues and all that will create a success in a Danish branch, and then take that success and bring it out to the world. And that's what we literally been focusing on the past, entire 2021. And we did actually create $300,000 in revenues for a first year, which is for any startup pretty impressive. We had no clients. I had no networking friends. I don't start up companies by picking on my network, because you can never scale a network.
No.
So if you're not capable of getting any clients in other matters, it's probably not the right solution.
Yeah, and please say it louder for the people in the back. You cannot scale your network. So you might get to a certain point with your network, and but you have to from the start think about other ways to go. I just wanted to really underline that, because I've had potential clients come and say to me, "Oh, well, our network is doing fine. We shouldn't invest in marketing." And I'm just, okay, suit yourself.
Yeah, and that's the strong part. Yeah, we have our network is strong. So you put your mercy onto your network instead of putting the power into your own hands, so you can start controlling your own endeavors going forward. Well, creating $300,000 in revenues is remarkable, I know, but but it didn't. But it didn't cost $300,000 to get the revenue of $300,000. It cost us $350,000, and that's literally due to the past 2 months where the revenues literally nearly stopped. It dropped 50%. It's been a really hard time to be honest.
Why did it do that? Why did it drop so much?
Well, there are several issues. First of all, there's the Corona part. The second part of it, we didn't know that our pipeline was so low already. We should have foreseen that in October, and that's in the end. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder. Trying to scale a company out, you give out all the decision making to your team as well, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go that well as expected. But it also tells me a lot about the fact that those 2 months, I have a guy called Will who's UK based, and he's not even a sales guy. That's the most beauty of it all. No, he's not a sales guy at all. He spent the past 35 years on scaling franchise concepts, because that's what I want to do with Be More Raw, being the local franchise, being the local market research shop where you get your raw answers from your market. So that's why I have Will More. But we bootstrapped, so we were like, okay, so what's going to happen? Will, what can we do? We need to sell something in England. And he said, but I'm not a sales guy, but what can I do? We have to sell something. He said, okay, I'll give it a try. So he went on cold canvassing, opening up on LinkedIn and calling clients directly. And what literally happened was during December, he closed 4 new deals, and we closed 1 new deal in Denmark.
So he's a machine.
Yeah, but he's not a machine. It's the market that's more ready. And that's where my big fuck up is. I've been focusing on the wrong market. Because Denmark is a very, very tiny, small market. And of course, it's pretty easy to get in contact with clients in Denmark, but it's pretty hard to activate them as well. Whereas when you have England, where you have, it's not only the UK, London is known for being, it's 1/3 of all revenues pass through London actually in the world. So this is where the money is, and people are very global, and it looks like that they're much more open in figuring out why the clients buy from them. Because hit rates are twice as high in the UK compared to the Danish branch. And even when we look at that's the crazy part. When we look at leads on LinkedIn, the Danish leads that we've been doing, they've been costing around $40-45 per lead that we got in. Whereas your client, he was paying, what was it, $200 per lead,
yeah.
$250 per lead. But the same campaign that we did in Denmark, doing it in England, we're down paying $12 for a lead. But it tells more about the readiness of the market in regards to working with the real truth. And you can say, of course, well, UK really got the truth the past years in regards to Brexit. So of course, they're taking their life pretty more serious than we are other places in the world, because many of the companies out over there are pretty screwed in regards to legislation and stuff like that. And the most crazy part, our first client, it was a cleaning service.
Okay.
A cleaning service, a local cleaning service. But the difference between Denmark and the UK is the cleaning service man. He told Will, "Oh my God, this is gold dust."
Yeah, I remember.
Gold dust. I never heard that about any service. And nobody ever told us in Denmark that we are delivering gold dust. So fuck ups is, don't narrow your market way too down. Be open. Be open to see what alternatives there are for you in your market. Because if you do like I do, and with all my years of experience, focus narrowing down to a small niche in the world, while everybody else in the world are shouting, "We need some wisdom." And we're sitting in little Denmark, saying, "You're not going to get it. It's only for local companies." So so that was my 2021 big major fuck up in my life. I just wanted to share it with you guys, because don't think you're too small, especially when you're Danish. They don't think much of themselves, but they should. We all should. There's a reason why your clients buy from you.
There's two questions that came into my mind here. The first one, how would you, if you should give some advice to the listeners, is there any indicators that, I mean, aside from, no, I'm not going to say that. Is there any indicators that you can share that you've picked the wrong market?
Well, if they don't buy, they don't buy. Literally.
But that could also be, but that could also be due to product market fit, right? And I get that market is a part of that, but that could also be due to, okay, maybe nobody wants the product. So is there that like, that's two parts of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So is there any way to
yeah, what I did with the what happened with the Danish market, that everybody, all our potential clients are saying, "Wow, we love your process. We would really, really like this. But can we please have it in 3 months?"
that's very Danish, I think.
Yeah, it's typically Danish. That's also why I had enough of it. I literally had enough of no, because when you've created a product or a service that actually delivers real value to the clients, we are pushing them. I had two potential clients talking to them today. And they both said in their own way, "Well, I don't think I can get my own brains around it." And I said, "You know what? Then we're not going to do anything for you now, because it's so important that you are ready to get these answers from your market, because when you get these answers, it's the time for you to move into something better." And maybe that will help me close some more clients in Denmark. But let me give you another example. Last week, we booked 3 potential clients. We closed 2 clients in
Congratulations.
Denmark. which was nice because but we had two client meetings last week. We booked 2 client meetings next week in our Danish branch. But in the UK, we booked 12 meetings. So
that scale.
The traction is just much better, and can be better other places. And that's my mistake. I should have gone for that already a year ago, but I chose not to because I was determined that first we build up the Danish branch. But if I have to only spend my time on building just the Danish branch, I'm going to spend the next 2 years here, not allowing any other clients in the whole world to get the same achievement that all our Danish clients are experiencing. I'm just bloody tired of that decision. Yeah, I'm ready for so much more. And if you feel for so much more, go do it. Stop talking bullshit. We should. Just do it.
The second question that came into my mind when you spoke about this is there any indicators then for what was the indicators for you that you are ready to go into another market? And is there any indicators that for Danish brands to say, well, okay, now we're ready to move into the next market?
You will never, that's the point, you will never be ready to go into a new market. You can never prepare yourself enough to get into a new market. And that's why most people never get into a new market. For instance, in little tiny Denmark, it's a common thing that, okay, now we have success in Denmark. Where should we go now? And most companies, they say, okay, let's go for Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
And it's like, well, why? Why do you want to go for Sweden? Because in Denmark, we have almost 6 million people living here. In Sweden, there are 9 million people living there. And most of all, Swedish people are very different than Danes. So people are, okay, we're going full Monty on Sweden. But imagine if I did that and didn't test the UK market, because all what it takes to try a new market is to test it. You know, that finding your value proposition in regards to your existing market and adapt it, translate it into English, for instance. That's what we did. That's what we used you for. Made the campaign. We literally just copy pasted it, the campaign. And it's performing 4 times better than the Danish. It's like, what the fuck? Sorry, 6 times better. And the reason why I'm starting to focus on England, because I can see the traction is there. It's easier to get the traction there than it is to get in Denmark. So why should I spend my entire life on trying to please a market who doesn't want to buy from me before? Sure. In the next 6 months, I'll buy from you, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
But of course, it could also went crap in the UK. But I would never have found out if I didn't try.
And then you just move on to the next market, right? So you have, let's say, and I wanted to get maybe a little more tactical on how you test markets, because that sounds interesting to me. So how do you do that, like, at the lowest resolution possible? You just start ads, generate leads, call the leads, and then figure out, based on 10 leads, is there any traction here?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Did I just
spending $100 or $1,000 or $5,000 on getting 10 leads from your market? I would always say 12, by the way. But that's because I'm a little bit OCD. No, okay. Because the part is when it's 10. Usually, what happens when you call 10 is that half of them doesn't pick up the phone. They'll never answer you. So you'll have 5 left, and then you got 5. I like when you have 6, because then you have 6 chances in closing a deal. to me, I don't know if it's a psychological thing or something, but talking to 6 clients gives you much more wisdom than talking to 5 clients, to be honest.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's just going over the number 5, because talking to 5 is just not enough. Of course, you should be talking to 20, 30, 40, 50, but just to test out whether there is a liable market for you to go forward. It's just make a simple campaign. Go to Google Translate your ads, your content, and test it out. If it doesn't work, it didn't work. But then you don't have to walk around the next year thinking, I wonder if we can be a success in Sweden or in Germany. Well, I wonder you can find out within 2 days.
So that's basically internationalization or a globalization strategy. Just generate 12 leads in a new market with your value proposition from your existing market where you have some sort of success. Call, talk to 6, close 1. Ask why. Ask why what?
When you talk to them,
the 6 clients in the new market, right?
Yeah, the 6 clients in the new market, because what most people fail with sales and I would say rather business development, because this is business development, developing your business into a new market. It's not enough to understand why people want to buy from you. It's much more important to understand why your clients don't buy from you. What is it that makes them not buy your product? Because that's the barriers of entry. And if you're capable of making those barriers of entry to your potential in your market, which is pretty easy because you just fix the barriers within your sales pitch, then you get the real answers in your market. And also what you want to achieve is product market fit, especially with your new market as well. And the way I define a product market fit is pretty easy. And that is to find out, first of all, or not to find out, when your next client wants to buy into your product on the same premises and motivation as your existing clients, and you are aware of it, you've achieved product market fit. Then you can start replicating your success. But first, you need to go out and test. Test, fuck up, fail more.
And then try again. Yeah. Okay. So we're calling these 6 leads, right? And none of them buy. So, and then you ask, why didn't you? Well, because whatever. Would you regard that new market as, would you keep going? Or would you say, okay, fair enough. I'm not going to go here. I'm going to try another market. Because,
no, I'll stick to the same market, because what happens when you talk to 6 people is you get to, because you remember to ask why they don't buy. In this case, nobody. I never tried that, by the way. But,
okay. Brag.
Literally, I never tried it. But in the case that 6 people don't want to buy, you find out why this happens. And when you know the why based on these 6 people, then you change your marketing, then you change your communication, then you change your ad into what you believe could perform even better. And then, of course, always making some A/B split testing along the way. We have a great example in our campaign where we have the exact same ad. The one is white, and the other one has 3 different colors on it. And the one with the different colors on it is not converting at all, whereas the white ad is converting like crazy. But it's the same communication on the ads. So obviously the design also matters a lot. But it's not enough just to make one splash into the market. You need to learn from your wrongdoings and try to create something better. So when you created the new campaign doing something better, if you are not capable of getting any more traction or any more openings into that market, then it's probably going to get a little bit harder than you expected. And I would, for my companies, I would go and test more markets actually.
Simultaneously.
Second?
Simultaneously at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because talking about fear, by the way, is the fear of being left out. Now the point is, when let's say I go to England, now we're also doing something in the States, finding out how much traction we can get there. But the point is, if I think, wow, the UK is crazy, we just the leads are so cheap, everybody's ready to buy and buy. And then I think this is the best opportunity for me everywhere in the world, so we're going full Monty on the UK. But what if the States, Germany,
yeah,
twice as better as the traction we are gaining in the UK? Then I would be running around for the next year with my hands up. Yeah, we're doing so great in the UK. We made $2 million in revenues. We're so good. Yeah, but I missed out on $3 million in Germany, which had the money. They were just waiting for me. I just didn't contact those clients. That's the worst feeling. Being an entrepreneur, being an international entrepreneur, is when you find out, God damn it, for a whole year, I could have gained traction in a market that's 6 times more ready to buy from me than they are in Denmark.
That's actually interesting, because that kind of goes.
That's horrible.
Oh no, but I mean,
it is horrible.
It is horrible. Yeah, definitely. But it's actually interesting because it's kind of the same thing when we're running marketing and when we're experimenting. So we have 80% on something that works, where the traction is, and then we have the last 20% of testing and trying. So that will basically be the same, right? So you have your 80% that soonish is gonna go to London for Be More Raw, and then the 20% is gonna be what could be Germany, France, whatever, right?
Probably not France, because I only speak French when I'm really drunk. So
okay, but then you have an excuse to be drunk for a year, right?
Hey,
yeah, business development.
Well, hopefully we are opening latest in May. We are opening our branch in Germany. So definitely Germany is.
Wow, that's great. That's insane.
One of the markets I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the German Ordnung muss sein. They like data, and we deliver.
Yeah, they probably do. They probably do, and they have no issue manipulating it a little bit. So.
I don't think we should say that, but yeah, I agree.
Oh, I mean, look at Volkswagen, right? They've had
There's
something
nothing wrong. All our testings are correct.
Yes. Well, I think that was it for today, right? That was a great episode, I think. Yeah, we've spoken for a long time. I even lost track of time, but that was a great episode, I think.
Well, thank you. Let's hope the others also believe. Yeah. But guys, if you came all the way through to here, thank you for listening with us. Please give us some good advice. Give us some opinions on how we can improve. And if you have anything you would like to talk about, we can literally talk about anything, because we're 2 different generations. I have a lifetime or experience of creating companies, whereas Frederik is a freshman exploding into his own successful agency as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to run through so many crazy things in regards to business, because business is so much more than just revenue.
That's for sure. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Take care. See ya.